Chapter 11:11. Time for round 2. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Gasp. A loud gasp escaped from Sam's mouth as his seemingly lifeless body jolted back to life. He opened his eyes and instinctively his hand went to his chest. He sat back up and looked down only to find that the hole that was once there was now not. That was a pathetic death for someone who claims them to be a, if I dare say so myself, God. The voice in his head mocked Sam. Shut up. He whispered in a low, inaudible tone. Oh, I'm sorry, did I hurt your pride? What the hell was that anyway? You tried to kill her with a handmade sword. Pun intended. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Sam yelled in a frustrated tone. I panicked. Okay, he spoke as he regained some of his composure and massaged his eyebrows. I panicked. This was the first time my ability didn't work on anyone besides Starboy. Even White Walker, who had the ability to negate abilities, even he was powerless in front of me. But that girl, no, that whole family. Sam clenched his wrist as he remembered how pathetically he was defeated and then ultimately killed. She said it's unique to her bloodline. That means it wasn't just Starboy. Yeah, before I used to think it's only Starboy who could challenge my authority, but it's actually his whole bloodline. Sam sighed. It was the first time since that day he was feeling like this. Since the young age of 8, when he awakened his ability after his father forcefully made him drink his blood, Sam never felt powerless. He always felt like a king, no, rather he always felt like a god. Why wouldn't he? All life in existence was at his mercy. As long as he knows the anatomy of a creature down to a cellular level, he could manipulate its biology. Meaning as long as it's something he knows, and is in his range, he could kill it without batting an eye, with nothing more than just a snap. Not only that, he could create deadly diseases like flesh-eating bacteria and let them spread while enjoying the hell that he had raised and feel like a god while doing so. His authority was absolute. That is until one day someone appeared and challenged it out of nowhere. He fought a superhero. An unofficial superhero named Starboy, the only son of Star Super. That day, as usual, Sam activated his bio-electricity and cladded his hand in electricity while rushing towards the superhero named Starboy. Starboy put his hand up and was ready to block the incoming strike. Sam, however, had no intention of letting that happen. He expanded his bio-field, which is the range of his ability, and proceeded to manipulate his body. His plan was to make Starboy lose all motor control in his hands and strike him in his heart, ending him right there. However, that didn't happen. Nothing happened. His hand worked just fine. He blocked Sam's strike and even countered him with a punch. A super powerful punch. Sam felt powerless that day. For the first time in his life, he felt like there is someone who he couldn't kill. He never thought he would feel something like that ever again from anyone else, but he did today. His sister challenged Sam's authority, and if that wasn't enough, he was told that her whole bloodline is immune to his authority. He wasn't feeling like a god right at this moment. For the first time he was feeling like a mortal. A mortal who could do nothing but kneel against the power of true God. Slap. Sam slapped his cheeks to clear all the unnecessary thoughts from his mind. That death wasn't in vain. I learned something. For starters, I can't manipulate biology of anyone belonging to Wilburn bloodline. Reason? Unclear. Maybe they have something that prevents them from my authority, or maybe they are different from normal humans down to the cellular level. Right, don't rule out the possibility that they could be aliens. I don't know if it's sarcasm or not, but yeah, maybe. Anyway, second thing that we came to know is, she can detect when someone is using their ability. She said she saw me activating my ability. So maybe it's her eyes, maybe they are special. Whole Wilburn family has these crystal-like golden eyes, maybe it's special to their bloodline too. That would explain how Starboy knew every time when an attack was incoming. Great then. I'm screwed. Not only I revealed my trump card to the sister of the guy I want to kill, but also I showed her my body manipulation ability. You have established the fact that you only possess bio.electricity as your ability. Now you have shown her your body manipulation, and if you go back to the class you'll be revealing your immortality too. It wouldn't take a genius to figure out that you possess something related to biology manipulation before long. Sam closed his eyes and dived deep into his thoughts. What are you doing, understanding her psyche? If I can't defeat her with brawn, I'll defeat her with brain and then use my brawn to kill her. No, actually, then use my brawn to fuck her. Okay, I'm very disturbed by that comment, but anyway, go on. Psychology is your department, tell me how her brain works. She's definitely not a hero aspirant. She's not interested in the righteousness shit. She wants to fight the society for something, but I don't know what her reason is. She uses her family name as her strength. Remember when she said something like, "You shouldn't have fought a Wilburn head." On. When she said the word Wilbur, I sensed a lingering hatred in her tone. So she's a princess who hates her family. Kinda cliché, but whatever, who am I to judge? I'm just a voice. So what's the plan? I have biokinesis, which doesn't work on their bloodline. I have an SS grade concealment ability which could work on her maybe. I have ability negation, but earlier she broke my augmented hand blade, which could supposedly cut through even the hardest of diamonds, without even using her ability. What? Yes, I tried to negate her ability as soon as she grabbed my blade, but it didn't work. I know White Walker has once negated Starsuper's heat vision, so his ability does work on their bloodline. That only means it was her own not so natural strength and not her ability. Sam spoke before taking a long deep sigh and looking up at the sky. Good Jesus. She's a monster. No, their whole family are a bunch of monsters, so what will you do? What I have is not enough. I need a defense, an absolute defense that couldn't be penetrated. Like that boy, Lucas ability, vector control, or any ability that negates force. Then I'll be needing an offensive ability, a perfect offensive one at that, like the president's light manipulation. Don't you first need to worry about whether she has exposed you yet or not? Yeah, let's check that first. I'll use the ability that I took from Jana, clairvoyance. If she has exposed us, then we'll flee. If she hasn't, then... Wait, what am I thinking? Sam frowned his eyebrows. What is it? I just thought about fleeing. What the fuck is wrong with me? Gods don't flee. No, I can't flee. If I run from here, then it'll haunt me for life, and I can't live with yet another wound to my pride. Sam got up and clenched his wrists. Don't be stupid, Sam. You can't win against her, your trump card doesn't work on her. You can't fight her, she'll see it coming. Pride isn't a reason good enough to die for. Doesn't matter, even if she can see it coming, she can never kill me, I'm immortal. A true immortal. Sam replied in a furious tone. First, let's check the situation. Sigh, the voice in his mind let out a helpless sigh as Sam closed off his eyes. The world around him turned blue with all the people having different color hues around them. He searched for anything unusual in that world, people gossiping about a villain's appearance or teachers issuing a yellow alert, but nothing was out of the place, everything and everyone was normal. Well, that's a bummer, seems like I have to stay in this academy for a while. But the question is, why didn't she expose you? Maybe because she thought I'm dead, so I'm not a threat anymore, who knows? Let's go and ask her herself. No. No, Sam, no. Don't confront her right now. You got a second chance, play safe, even if you don't want to run, but the situation calls for a strategic retreat, so retreat now and strike later. Calm the fuck down, dumbass. I won't fight her head. On. Okay, then what? I have few things in mind, even if she's not a human she must have a nervous system. What the fuck are you talking about? You'll see, for now let's go. Sam rolled his eyes and spoke before heading towards the exit door. As soon as he exited the door, however, he was bumped into a boy. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. The boy bowed down instantly and started apologizing earnestly. It's okay, mate. I don't want to do this. No, who am I kidding? I actually want to do this. Look here. Ha. The boy frowned in confusion. He looked up to see that Sam's eyes were emitting a violet hue. Give me your clothes. In return you can have my blood-drained clothes. Just kidding, you can't have my clothes, you're not worthy, give me your clothes and walk around naked. Sam ordered the boy. The boy complied without any questions and started undressing down to his underwear. Yeah, I'll not be needing those. Sam threw the underwear away and put on rest of the clothes before walking down the stairs, leaving the boy naked. Body manipulation, he activated a sub-power of his ability. What are you doing? The voice asked in a curious tone. I'm creating organs. I'll create 2 more hearts and a backup brain. So even if she goes for my vitals I won't die instantly. Sam replied casually. But you used to say it was disgusting having more organs than necessary. Yeah, well, you know what's more disgusting. Wilburns. Couldn't agree more. Sam. Where were you? A familiar voice called out to him as soon as he stepped on the first floor. Kia, I was on terrace. Sam replied, a little startled as he was deep in thoughts earlier. Oh, okay, you missed special training class, go get dressed for combat class before the break ends and let's talk after that. Kiera said before walking down the stairs, and a group of girls followed behind her. Well, someone has made friends already. That was weird. He had some kind of mind control ability maybe, and he used bio-electricity manipulation at assessment test. However, he also used something to change his hand into that unnaturally strong sword. Did he have 3 abilities? Meh, whatever, he's of no use now that he's dead. Rebecca was in girls' room and currently putting on the combat uniform while appearing to be deep in thoughts. Hello, love. She was shook out of her thoughts as a voice called her from behind. She quickly turned around to see the boy that should have been dead standing right behind her. I didn't sense him. She widened her eyes in surprise. It's not easy to sneak behind her. A concealment ability. Impossible. Instinctively she prepared to launch a punch at him with her full power. The boy, however, quickly jumped back and made a distance between them. So even your eyes couldn't see through this concealment. So the fire-forged girl wasn't just boasting when she said even Star Super will have a hard time spotting her. Sam tilted his head and spoke with an arrogant smirk that soon turned into a creepy grin. Time for round 2. ____ information available on Heat Vision. User is able to generate concentrated, immense amount of heat from their eyes, which can be used to burn, heat, melt, weld, etc. targets. Power of heat attacks. Variation of heat blast emission and optic blast. Ability negation. The user can cancel out the powers of others and or their effects, making them unable to utilize their powers as long as they are under the user's focus/area. This can be in a form, a nullification zone, a wave, continuous or one-time effect. Power of superpower manipulation. Variation of negation. ____. Chapter 12:12. Round 2 ends. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You have immortality too. Rebecca spoke calmly. Sam, however, could easily see through the facade she was carefully put on. She was shocked, the disbelief in her eyes was right there. I have many things, love. Anyway, enough about me, let's talk about you. Do you have a boyfriend? Sam leaned back on the wall and crossed his arms. No, I don't have a boyfriend, Rebecca replied, masking her confusion with a calm tone. I don't usually find girls attractive. Wait, that came out wrong. I mean, I don't usually find humans attractive. Wait, never mind. Sam gave up on forming a perfect question with a sigh and asked directly, I mean, why not, even though you're very attractive? Maybe because all the guys who liked me in the past were creeps like you, who would barge into girl's room without even knocking. Rebecca closed her eyes and arched her eyebrows. Well, I was sneaking up on you, knocking would defeat the purpose, you know. Sam shrugged casually. Yeah, remind me again, why were you trying to do that? Rebecca frowned her eyebrows, trying to sound as calm as possible. To kill you, of course, silly. Sam frowned his brows and spoke in a "isn't that obvious" tone. Ah, I see, then in your words, die. Rebecca spoke in a monotonous tone and instantly disappeared from his sight before appearing right in front of him, closing the distance between them in less than a split second. Sam, however, saw it coming and hardened his skin to create an exoskeleton which could defend him from the incoming strike. However, that wasn't even nearly enough to block the full force of the punch that Rebecca threw at him. Blood gushed out of his mouth as he violently coughed. The punch to the gut earlier has crushed his lungs. Instinctively his body began repairing the damage dealt to him. Sam wields a power strong enough to grant him the self-proclaimed title of God. His power is without a doubt, strong. However, like every other ability, even his have weakness, one of them being, he can't ever activate two of his sub-power simultaneously. He could initiate them one by one. For example, he can create a sharp blade out of his bones and clad it in lightning later, but not together. Thus, as soon as his regeneration kicked in, his skin unhardened itself and he fell on his knees, cough. 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 That exoskeleton should have been enough to take a hit from a fucking crimson bull. Sam coughed up a mouthful of blood again before continuing, you really are a monster. Before he could even finish his last sentence, a kick landed on the side of his face and cleaved it in half. Even immortals couldn't regenerate if you decapitate them. Rebecca breathed a sigh of relief and started thinking about what to tell her brother. As she was deep in thoughts, a voice called out to her from behind. Rebecca. As soon as the flaxen-haired girl heard the familiar voice, she turned around and looked at the person who called her out. It was Anthony. Who is that person you just killed? Anthony asked, his eyes widened in shock and his eyebrows frowned in confusion. Our brother, he was a supervillain. I swear I didn't do it on purpose, but he tried to harm me, not once but twice. Rebecca tried to explain, but she could see that her words weren't getting through him. Are you fucking kidding me, Rebecca? It's our first day here and you've already made a mess. He yelled in a clearly furious tone. Brother, believe me, please. I didn't act on my impulses, he really was trying to kill me. Rebecca pleaded. It was the first time since their childhood she was seeing her brother this angry. Impulses. Anthony frowned in confusion before he quickly realized that he had made a mistake. No, you're not my brother. Who are you? Before Rebecca could speak any further, she felt something stabbing her stomach. She looked down and saw her brother's hand, that was cladded in electricity, piercing her stomach like a sharp blade. A jolt of pain coursed through her body, but she didn't panic. Putting on a strong face, she tried to speak, shape-shifting. How? Rebecca spoke in a low, inaudible tone as blood gushed out of her mouth. No matter how hard she tried, she couldn't mask the utter disbelief in her voice. Sam hummed, his face was covered with an arrogant smirk. How? How? How dare you? Rebecca screamed. Just by the sheer anger in her voice, one could guess that she won't be playing games anymore. Without wasting another second, Rebecca activated one of her most trusted abilities, heat vision. Her eyes glowed with vibrant red light, and before Sam could even do anything, his brain was pierced by a pair of laser beams. Sam's lifeless body fell onto the ground. His body was still resembling Anthony, but Rebecca knew better, it was definitely not her brother. The wound on her stomach started to heal with a rapid speed. She sat down on the ground and looked around. There were two dead bodies, both of them belonged to the same person, Samuel Gracefell. Although one of them was looking like her brother, Anthony Wilburn aka Starboy. Duplication. Shape-shifting. Body manipulation. Immortality. Electricity. Who the fuck is this guy? Rebecca took a long deep breath while mustering up the energy to get up. Who am I? I'm a god. Rebecca's eyes widened in shock. This is impossible, she thought. How many duplicates has he prepared beforehand? Wait, her eyes grew wider as if she has realized something. These all abilities are just sub-powers of your main ability. Rebecca turned her head and looked behind. The same black-haired boy that she has killed more than thrice in a single day was standing right behind her. Bingo. Right answer. I must say I'm starting to like you. Sam answered as he walked around and stood in front of Rebecca. But first tell me this, earlier you broke my augmented blade hand without any ability. How did you do that? Are you even human? Also, don't try to activate your abilities cause I can negate them. I have the same power that White Walker once possessed, so, answer me honestly. How? Sam tilted his head in curiosity. Fuck you. Rebecca replied while looking Sam dead in the eyes. I don't know what your main ability is, but now you've done it. She activated her heat vision again. In reply, Sam quickly activated his ability negation. However, it didn't work. Sam widened his eyes in shock. He was using White Walker's ability, so why is it not negating Rebecca's powers? He tried to make a run for it, but it was too late. A pair of laser beams cleanly cut off his head from his neck. Sam had died on the spot. Again, Rebecca gasped before sighing in relief. He tried to run, meaning he was real. She assured herself before getting up from the ground. Her wound was healed now, but she was just a little exhausted because she has never dealt with anyone like the black-haired boy she met today. I see, a voice resounded in the room. Are you fucking kidding me? Rebecca questioned the absurdity of the situation as she heard the same annoying voice again. She quickly turned her head towards the room door and saw the same black-haired boy standing there, leaning on the wall without a care in the world. His eyebrows frowned as he spoke again, so it was just a rumor. White Walker's ability never worked on Star Super. And here I thought it would give me an edge over your family. Sam spoke in a disappointing tone. Who the fuck are you, a cockroach? Why won't you just die? Rebecca yelled in disbelief and shock, completely shattering the strong facade she was putting on earlier. I told you, Rebecca. I'm a god. However, I must say, this behavior isn't so ladylike. Rebecca interrupted Sam with a loud cuss, fuck you. I don't have to deal with this. Rebecca quickly got up from the ground and activated two of her abilities, flight, and super strength. She started floating while she clenched her fist. Her intention wasn't to attack Sam, instead, it was to break out of this room through its ceiling because Sam was occupying the space in front of the door. Although she could easily crush him with her strength, however, she didn't want to go anywhere near that boy ever again. So she planned to break out of the room and inform her brother about the situation. Sorry love, I can't let you escape just yet, Sam smirked, but Rebecca paid him no mind. After all, what can he even do? She's way stronger than him, there's no way he could stop her, or at least that's what she thought. Before she could execute her escape plan, she felt her head spinning suddenly. It was difficult to breathe. Thud, with a thud sound, her previously floating body dropped to the ground. The whole world was spinning and she couldn't focus her mind enough to activate her abilities. You do to me. It's as if she was high on alcohol, she couldn't control her muscles. It was getting to the point where even her eyes were getting out of focus. Honestly, I'm surprised you survived this long. Just what kind of monsters are you guys? If it was just any other human, they would have died within seconds of being injected with that amount of enhanced Botox directly in the bloodstream. Sam spoke in a genuinely impressed tone. Although I didn't need to inject it, but I didn't want to take any chances with a monster like you. He added while arching his eyebrows. Botox. As in botulinum neurotoxin. But when did he? Back then. Her eyes widened as she remembered. It could have been only when Sam took her by surprise when he disguised himself as her brother and pierced her stomach. Right then he injected the neurotoxin in her. I wasn't so sure about using a neurotoxin because I once tried it on your brother while I and Medusa were fighting him, but he was immune to it. Not only that but rather all kinds of poison or diseases. Cliché overpowered superhero, I know, right? Sam rolled his eyes before continuing, but then I thought, what if I get lucky and you don't have that trait or ability or whatever that makes him immune? And look at here. I'm lucky indeed. Not to worry though, I had a few more backup plans ready in case of this one failing. Sam kneeled down and looked Rebecca in the eyes. I know this isn't enough to kill you, after all, you're a Wilburn and I've seen your regeneration, it's only slightly inferior to what I possess. So yeah, you won't die, but I'll make sure to experiment my heart out on you. Sam spoke with a disturbing smile. My brother, he why, kill why. Yo. Before Rebecca could finish, her consciousness drifted off and she fell asleep. Sam frowned his eyebrows before starting to examine her. Her state is akin to a coma, and her heart is beating once a minute, it's like she's hibernating. She could wake up. Not if we keep on injecting the enhanced neurotoxin I prepared. If we do that I think she'll be in this sober state. Okay. One problem though, it's almost time for the combat class, you have already skipped your special training, so if you'll be there then who will be watching her? Don't worry, I have someone in mind. Sam cracked his neck before looking down on the dead body of his duplicates and shapeshifter. He raised his hand and the bodies on the ground were engulfed in a bright violet light. The bodies then shattered like glass and dematerialized into thin air. For now, however, let's try to make this a normal college life and attend some not.so.normal classes. ___ information available on Flight. The user can fly or otherwise move through the air using various methods. Some possibilities include using one or more forms of energy, wings, or similar structures, harnessing anti-gravitons, etc. The user can fly at high speeds without any outside influence, propel/move freely while flying without support. ____. Chapter 1313. Friends don't doubt, they trust. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sam, there you are. How long does it take for you to just change? Kiera rushed to Sam as soon as she saw him entering the training ground. The whole Hero Academy is basically one castle, named the main building and 5 sky-high towers. Currently the whole freshman year warrior class is in the training field that easily stretched a few square kilometers. All that area being the part of the campus. The training field was an open ground with lots of practice targets, weights, weapons and other stuff. Basically an open dojo. A big open dojo. This is where they train them in the art of combats. After all, heroes are essentially soldiers, just tools of and for war. I lost my way. Sam casually shrugged. Yo, you. My henchman lost his way. Kiera asked in ridiculed tone, not being able to process how he lost his way even though the students were handed maps. This academy is literally a fucking castle. Kia, stuff happens. Sam replied with a casual shrug again. Did you even read the map that was given with the rulebook after the welcoming ceremony earlier today? What rulebook? Sam asked with a frown. Kiera couldn't help but sigh at her airhead henchman before Sam spoke again. By the way, I don't see Robin or Drake anywhere. It's the first day and the lovebirds are already skipping. Sam asked with a grin. No, you dummy, I talked with Robin last night and apparently all the noble families and their heirs are meeting today, to discuss whatever nobles discuss on. That's why there are just 40 students even though the student count is 100 for the warrior class. Kiera replied. Aren't you a know-it-all? If that's the case though, then why is he here? Isn't he a noble too? Sam pointed his eyes towards Anthony, who was currently talking to a bunch of students with a worried expression. Anthony. He is. As for why is here, I don't know either. And that boy? He's a Red Wing, aren't they nobles too? Sam pointed his eyes at Lucas, the boy who aced the assessment test and made every single student present at the welcoming ceremony his enemy. Yes, they were indeed nobles 2 years ago. However, an incident happened and it led to their decline. Now they are just struggling to restore their glory days. Really? What kind of incident? Sam asked curiously. Dunno, that's all I heard from my father. Kiera shrugged while arching her eyebrows. Your father, huh? The expressions on Sam's face stiffened at the mention of Kiera's father. Damn, you really are scared of my father, aren't you? Kiera asked in a teasing tone. I'm not scared of anyone. Sam rolled his eyes and averted his gaze. Huh, Kiera laughed in amusement before her eyes turned gentle as she spoke, and yet you stood up for me 4 years ago on that day. Thank you, Sam, you've always been a good friend to me. A friend, huh? Sam clenched his fists and opened his mouth to speak something. Before he could do so, however, he sensed someone approaching. It was Anthony. He had a worried expression on his face. With a frown he asked, have you two seen my sister anywhere? Hairs and eyes like me, tall and fair skin. She was sitting beside me in the class. No, why, what's the matter? Kiera replied with a confused look. She's not here yet, the break is almost over and class is about to start. Anthony replied, clearly worried by the tone of his voice. Have you checked the changing room? Sam replied with a question. No, not yet, I'm going to. I tried calling her but she's not picking up either. She's special, so I'm not permitted to leave her side. Anthony replied, the distress in his voice was growing by the second. Special. Is he talking about the impulses she mentioned earlier? Sam arched his eyebrows. Do you want us to help? Kiera asked in a concerned tone, although her tone was concerning but the blush on her face couldn't be mistaken. Sam internally sighed before giving Kiera an, are you serious look. Yes. Thank you, that would mean so much to me. Anthony nodded and started walking towards the main building. However, he stopped right after taking a single step and turned around. He looked Sam in the eyes and asked with a frown, where were you during the second class, the special training class, I mean? Terrace, why? He's not lying, Anthony remarked mentally before speaking again, my sister was at Terrace too, did you two meet? After a brief pause Sam replied, yeah, we talked. Now before you ask, we talked about a bunch of random stuff. And you have no idea where she is? Anthony asked, still staring Sam directly into his eyes. What the fuck is this? I think he have a lie detection ability, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. The question is, why is he interrogating me? Well, why do you think? With that hair you look like a villain. I told you to get a different haircut, but no. Why should you listen to me? 'Cause I'm just a voice. Shut up, you idiot. Let me think. If I don't answer, he'll know I'm involved with this matter. If I answer with a lie, however, and he really does possess an ability to detect lies, then I'll end up exposing myself. So what the fuck will you do now? Oh, I got an idea, it's simple but effective. I'll put him in guilt and use his agreement for our help as a weapon. That'll stall him, or at best make him retreat. I'm talking to you, Samuel, do you really don't know where she is? Anthony asked again, this time with a little bit of frustration in his voice. What are you implying? Sam replied with a question, his eyes turned indifferent, completely dropping the amicable front he usually puts on in public. What am I? Don't change the topic, Samuel, tell me, do you or do you not know where she is? The frustration in Anthony's voice was now clearly visible. Seriously, Anthony. We agreed to help you find your sister, and you have the audacity to ask me if I have something to do with her disappearance. Sam yelled. His voice laced with anger, intentionally creating a scene. I was not implying that, I was just asking what? That have I kidnapped your little sister? Sam, just answer him and let it go, everyone's looking here. Kiera spoke, trying to stop the argument before it gets further. Let it go. This boy right here is accusing me of kidnapping his sister and you're asking me to let it go. Are you siding with him? Sam widened his eyes furiously. Before Kiera could speak, however, Anthony spoke up. I'm not accusing anyone of anything, I'm just asking if you know where she is since you missed the second class and she's going to miss the third one. Does that even make sense? I met her during the class break. I didn't attend the second class because I didn't felt like to, maybe she's feeling the same way. How the fuck would I know where she is? Sam yelled furiously. Murmuring broke out among the students, they all started gossiping. While few of them were thinking about how to break the argument before it turns ugly, some of them were hoping to see a fight on their first day. That's not an answer. Just give me a yes or no. Anthony yelled back. Ah. So I see. He can tell the lies apart indeed, but he need a clear answer. Sam, I have an idea, make yourself forget about Rebecca. What? Sam frowned his eyebrows. Answer me, goddammit. Anthony yelled at Sam, unable to hold back his frustration. If only he could get a clear answer from this boy in front of him. Yes, block the memories about her whereabouts and then answer. After you're done, unblock those memories. Ah, I get it. He needs a clear-cut answer. That means his lie detection works on the same principles as a lie detection test machine. Samuel, just answer him. Kiera shook Sam by his shoulders. Sam jerked her hand off and sighed after putting on a regretful face. He spoke in a sad yet loud voice, making sure that everyone present there listens to this. You know, Anthony, I thought you and I could get along. I thought we can be friends, but you know what friends don't do. Friends don't doubt each other, they trust. Because what do we have to build our relationship upon if not trust? Sam dramatically closed his eyes and dropped his head. No, I don't know where your sister is. He's telling the truth. Anthony's eyes widened before he started regretting doubting Sam. What was I even thinking? Rebecca is strong, no way Sam could do anything to her even if he wants to. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I think all this worrying got to me, I didn't mean any it, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have doubt. Before Anthony could finish, Sam spoke up. No need, let's help finding your sister instead of wasting time here with pointless apologies. Sam spoke with a warm smile on his face. Also, there's one more thing friends don't do, they don't apologize. Thank you, Samuel. Honestly, Anthony didn't know how to react to that. He has never met anyone so kind before. He was of course regretting ever doubting him, but most of all he was having this weird feeling that he has never experienced before. Sam patted his shoulder and said, just call me Sam, and I'll call you Tony. He walked past him and headed towards the main building. Friends, Anthony pondered over the word for a second, before a voice dragged him out of his thoughts. Anthony, come. Kiera called out to Anthony to follow them into the main building. Ha! Anthony scoffed at the idea of him making friends before following the duo. ___ information available on shape-shifting. Users can shape-shift, changing their form and appearance at will, maybe even transforming and reshaping themselves down to their genetic and cellular structure. They can impersonate others or enhance their own body for combat, either by turning into animals, humanoids, monsters, etc. User with particularly flexible abilities can manipulate their form at will, combining abilities, traits, etc. Lesser version of Omnifarious, Sam requires a visual or genetic source material to use this ability, however, because no two abilities could ever be identical, so other users of this ability may have different limitations. Lie detection, users can sense when they are lied to. Power of lie manipulation. Chapter 14:14. What family does? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ah, we've been searching for hours. Where is she? Sam complained. It's just been 30 minutes, Sam. Kiera replied. It's okay Sam, you must be tired. Anthony said before opening a class door to check whether Rebecca was inside. Does she do this often? The disappearing, I mean. Sam asked as he opened another one of the door to check himself. Ah. Yeah, Anthony replied with hesitation. Why does she do it? Kiera asked with a frown. She, let's just say, don't like people. Anthony replied with a mentally exhausted tone. He's lying. No, more like he's hiding something. Maybe it's about her impulses. It's a big building. I know I said this before, but I think we should split up to cover more ground. Sam suggested. Yeah, I think so too. Anthony nodded in agreement. Okay, Sam, you take this floor. Me and Tony will take upstairs. Kiera instantly jumped in. You're calling him Tony, huh? Sam remarked mentally. Sure, he replied with a brief pause. Great. Kiera replied in an almost happy tone before walking away with Anthony to upstairs. I know I told you this before, but she's not worthy of you. Shut up. Currently there were only the 40 students, belonging to the warrior class, present in the academy building and few first-year teacher. The second and third-year students and staff assigned to them were on vacation. It was semester break for them. Classes other than warriors will still not be joining the academy starting next week. It won't take a genius to figure out that warrior class gets special treatment in the academy. A special welcoming ceremony is held every year for them, they get to choose the dorms for themselves, and they get to experience the academy a week earlier before rest of the classes does. There are many more so-called special treatments for them during their time at the Hero Academy. So, are you going to go check on her? The voice in his head asked in curiosity. Are you stupid? Well, you're me, so I guess you indeed are stupid, but to answer your question, no, I won't. Sam rolled his eyes before a wide grin appeared on his face. I've already sent her somewhere safe. So are you too close? Anthony asked while opening another door on the second year's floor. Sam and me. Yeah, we're childhood friends. He is family. Kiera replied, walking beside him. Aren't you from Los Angeles? I heard about your family, I'm sorry. They call me the boy savior, but I wasn't able to save anyone that day. Anthony said, his voice filled with regret and apology. It was clear from his tone that he was holding himself responsible for what happened in Los Angeles, the death of White Walker as well as the massacre of thousands of innocent families caught in the mess. Kiera couldn't help but widen her eyes. From the little age of 4, she was taught that kindness is weakness, if you have it, you'll be exploited. But how can someone with so much power, be so kind? Anthony was holding himself responsible for what happened in Los Angeles, when it was clearly not his fault. While Kiera and Sam were fighting White Walker, Starboy was being engaged by her father's men. It wasn't his fault that he arrived late, yet he was still suffering. Seeing this, Kiera gently placed her hand on his shoulder and spoke, "It was not your fault. Stop beating yourself up about it and let's find your sister." She put on a warm smile. Ha! Thank you, I needed to hear that. Sam replied with a bittersweet smile. Looks like someone is bonding. The voice in Sam's head remarked. I don't know what she sees in this guy. Sam replied mentally, his eyes turned cold and almost indifferent. Look at her, desperately trying so hard to grab his attention, to leave an impression. Sam was walking a few steps behind them. With his concealment ability on, he was observing Anthony closely. However, the voice in his head couldn't let him focus. Why do you fancy her anyway? She's just a burden on you, without her you would have touched the tree of life years ago. But what's the point if she's not besides me? The point in what? If you touched the tree of life, with your ability, you would be able to manipulate all life in existence. You would literally be a god. That's the point. Who cares if she is or is not besides you? I do. I care. Sam yelled in his mind. Why? What has she ever done besides hurting you? What has she ever done besides being a burden on you? Even earlier today, she sided with this guy instead of you. Did you forget? Don't worry, even if you do, I'll never let you. Because that's what real family does. Sam's breathing became ragged as he heard the voice in his mind, his heartbeat fastened as the voice spoke again, do it. Just kill her. After that just invade Los Angeles and get a hold of your destiny. Do it. Kill her, Sam. Kill her. Sam started taking quick steps to close the distance between him and the pair walking in front. His hand structure changed and the nails at the top of his fingers started to grow. As it started resembling a claw, the voice spoke up again, do it. Don't think, just do it. She's immortal, but unlike you, she'll die if you damage her brain. Aim for the head. Kill her. Sam's heart starting to beat quicker, his breathing became more uneven as he pulled his hand back with intent to plant his claw in Kiera's head. Before he could do so, however, Anthony sensed something and quickly turned around. Seeing this, Sam widened his eyes in shock and quickly jumped back a few meters. He reverted his hand back to normal and calmed his heart down. What is it? Kiera asked in confusion. I don't know, I sensed bloodlust. A lot of it too. Anthony replied, clearly confused as there was no one in the corridor besides them. Are you sure? I don't see anyone. And my senses are pretty sharp, so I would know if there is bloodlust intended towards our direction. Why? Yes, there is indeed no one here, but I did. Senator, wait. Isn't your ability water manipulation? How are your senses that sharp then? I don't think you've been into life or death situation. Anthony frowned his eyebrows and looked towards Kiera for answer. I'm not, she's not lying. Her senses are pretty sharp. I trained her myself. Also, before you start interrogating me too, I've been into several life and death situations. Why or how? That I can't tell you, you should know the importance of secrets, right? Sam said as he walked up to them. Sam, are you done with the first year's floor? Kiera asked, clearly alarmed from Anthony's question. Sam nodded before Anthony spoke up again. Sam, no, I was not interrogating. I'm sorry, I'm always on edge, it's a bad habit I've picked up. Anthony replied in an apologetic tone while massaging his temples. It's okay, lol. No need to be so dramatic about it. By the way, did you found her? No, we've searched the whole floor. It's just third year's floor now. Anthony looked up at the ceiling. So let's go, why are we waiting for? Sam shrugged and started walking before Kiera grabbed him by the collar from behind. Stop, dummy. We can't step foot into the third year's floor. It's prohibited for first and second years. Kiera said. Honestly, just read the rulebook, it's only 140 pages. Yeah, no thank you. What are you students doing here? As the trio was pondering over what to do now, a feminine voice called out to them from behind. They all turned around to see a woman in her late 20s with blue hair standing behind them. Miss Rose, we were looking for a fellow student. Sam replied almost immediately. Who? Which student? Rose asked with an arched eyebrow. My sister, Rebecca. She hasn't come back after the second break. Even now, the third class is underway, but she's not even reviving her phone or answering my texts. Anthony replied. Maybe she's skipping. It's not rare for students to cut classes on the first few days and just explore around, or enjoy the college life. Rose replied with a casual shrug, almost as if she was remembering her own academy days. Well, even if it's the first time she's not answering my calls. I'm worried, can you do something? Anthony asked in a worried tone. Fine, Wait, I'll ask the control room to go through the CCTV. Rose said as she walked a few steps away and took out her comm device. After a few minutes she nodded and thanked the control room. She walked back to the trio and said, "Your sister was seen going out of the academy gates on her hover bike." "Wah! On her hover bike?" Anthony frowned in confusion, "But why would she not inform me?" "Does she always have to inform you on what she does?" Sam asked with a curious tone. "Well, yeah, Father doesn't want me to leave her alone because of some reasons, so when we're out, she has to stay by my side all the time." Anthony replied earnestly. "So maybe, she's tired of that. Maybe she went out to take a break." Sam shrugged, but seeing the worry on Anthony's face still haven't disappeared, he spoke again, "Just have a little faith in your sister." Anthony remembered what Rebecca said earlier, that she's been tired of his shit. Maybe she really was frustrated being kept on under watch for 24 hours a day. Maybe she really does need a little private time. Realizing this, Anthony nodded his head and spoke, "Thank you, you too. Even though we didn't find her, but you too helped me, especially you, Sam, even after I suspected you, you still helped me. I'm sorry and thank you." Anthony spoke in an honest, grateful tone. "As I said back then, friends don't have to apologize. Now don't be a drama queen and let's join the last class for the day. I've already missed my second class and it's just the first day." "Yeah, what Sam said, friends don't apologize and neither they say words like thank you and stuff. Now come on, let's go to the training field," Kiera said and started walking towards the stairs. The boys followed behind. Sam turned his head back and quickly glanced at Rose before nodding, to which Rose performed a bow, as if a maid bowing in front of her master. Information available on water manipulation. Users can create, shape, and manipulate water, inorganic compound with liquid, gas, steam, water vapor, and solid, ice, states, including changing them from one state to others. Some users are able to completely control the temperature of the water at will. Variation of liquid manipulation and elemental manipulation. Chapter 15:15. Time to play. You are listening at novelfull.audio.knock. Open up Rosie. Sam knocked on the apartment door before calling Rose out. Click. With a click sound the door opened and Rose answered, "Yes. Sam, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be choosing your dorms instead?" Rose asked in confusion, clearly flustered from her visible red cheeks. Although they call it dormitories, it's actually mansions that the students of Hero Academy gets to choose. One mansion is appointed to every 30 students. Only Warriors gets to choose the one they wants though, in terms of location and building. Don't worry, I'm just a duplicate. The real Sam is choosing his dorm as you mentioned. Anyway, I'd like to meet our guest," Sam said as he casually walked in. Upon entering, his eyes went to a spot. "Isn't this the same spot I killed your best friend? And here you are helping her kill her, hell you're even crushing on him, even though you have a fiancé." Eagleclaw was he. Sam smirked. "Isn't this all your fault? You made me like this. I would prefer being dead over having these feelings for a criminal." Rose locked the door and spoke with her back facing Sam. "You say that, but I could feel the tremble in your voice. Your heart is beating faster." And Sam walked up to Rose and grabbed her from behind. "And you're soaking wet," he whispered in her ears. "Noth, that's because you did something with my bray. Unfortunately, you can't have me, darling. To put it frankly, you're not worthy of me." Sam shrugged casually and walked away to enter her bedroom. Rose stood there for a moment and calmed her breathing down. A part of her wanted to hurt him, she knows it's impossible, but she wanted to do it anyway. However, she couldn't act on those feelings. She tried, but it's like she's just a mortal and couldn't do anything against her owner, her god. After calming herself down, she proceeded to follow Sam into her bedroom. "Isn't it truly a miracle, Rose?" Sam said in amazement. No one can survive the amount of enhanced neurological toxin she's dosed with, yet here she is, breathing like nothing happened. Tell me, what do you think? Well, I gave her a regular supply of toxin like you ordered me to. I found two things: she doesn't need to activate her superhuman durability, it's like it's always present. We can't even inject the needles through her skin, it's tough, so much so that I have to stab her eyes with the syringe and inject the toxin through it. Yeah, I know that, it's something that got me killed. Quite literally. Anyway, what's the second? Second, I don't know how to put this, but I think her body, it's adapting to it. Sam widened his eyes in surprise. Adapting? What the fuck? I injected her with a neurotoxin that was made from Kiera's blood. Her serpent physiology gives her an ability to produce all kinds of neurotoxin that has been known to mankind. Hell, hers is even more potent than those. You're saying she is adapting from that? Well, yeah. Remember her heartbeat. It was once every minute, now it's thrice every minute. It's been 3 hours, but according to my calculations she'll be able to resist the toxin in about next 20 hours. Sam cut off Rose and spoke in disbelief. That's even less than a day. 23 hours. She will be able to resist a toxin made by Kiera in less than a day. What the fuck are these Wilburns made of? Are you sure you're not worried about her now? Sam asked. I'm totally fine. Besides, she's a Wilburn, she can take care of herself, and you know what, you were right, I should start trusting her, so this is me trusting her. Anthony spoke in a reassuring tone. Then why are you still holding your phone as if waiting for her to call back? Sam arched his eyebrows with a smirk. Shut up, man. I always do this. Huh, Sam, leave him alone, he's been through a tough day. Kiera said while holding a giggle back herself. Well, it's been pretty rough for Sam too, lol. Remember how hard he was panting after the combat class was over? Anthony commented, and Kiera bursted into laughter. I was not. That kind of exercise is nothing to me. Sam retorted, but Kiera and Anthony only laughed harder after the response. Anyway, I'm glad that you chose this dorm, Tony. Kiera said with a warm smile. Have you ever seen her smiling like that for you? Thank you, Kiera, I'm glad we became friends too and now we're dorm mates, lol. Anthony replied with a genuine smile. Shut up. Don't ever try to manipulate me again as you did earlier today. By the way, did you two heard, Lucas, the boy who aced the entrance test, has chosen a dorm around this area too? Kiera spoke in a curious manner. When did I ever try to manipulate you? I spoke the truth, nothing else. And besides, you didn't even kill her. Oh really? I would like to meet him too. In the ceremony he, well, sounded kinda competitive, haha. Anthony replied with an awkward laugh. I know very well what you did. Do you think I'm a fool? And besides, I did try to kill her, but this fucker sensed me. Aha. Although Sam liked him, however, even I don't know why, lol. Kiera shrugged. Oh come on. Do you think I'm stupid? You could have killed her with just a snap, there was no need for all that bloodlust. You could have given her a heart attack or shut her brain down, but your subconscious mind didn't want it to kill her. Really, Sam? What do you see in him? Anthony asked before turning his head toward Sam. You know very well that's not the point here. You tried to manipulate me. You call me family, but you betrayed me. Sam, hello. Birth to Sam. Anthony called out to Sam. Even if I did manipulate you, which I didn't by the way, I still did it for you. This girl is toxic. Your relationship with her is toxic. Just end her. You even have the chance right now. Shut up. Sam mentally yelled back at the voice in his head. Before he could speak anymore, a hand to his shoulder shook him out of his thoughts. Sam, you okay? Kiera asked in a concerned voice. Yeah, I'm okay. Sam replied before shaking his head. Currently all of them were sitting in the mansion, they called dormitories lounge and gossiping about random stuff. The mansion was spacious and it had exactly 30 bedrooms. There was lounge, gym, swimming pool, bar and all the amenities that one might get at a 5-star hotel. The furnitures were custom-made with a high-quality wood that gave it a classy look. The design for all the bedrooms was different and also, even if they haven't seen any other dorms, they were told that all dorm features a different look. However, the antique look of this mansion caught Kiera's eyes in the first glance, so they registered for this dorm. While they were chatting, Sam suddenly felt a sharp pain in his head before he heard a voice. It was his own. "Sam, we gotta talk." The voice spoke. "You should know that I don't like to talk telepathically." "What happened?" Sam replied furiously. "I wouldn't have done it if I had a choice. It's about Rebecca. I'm at Rose's and examining her. I think she's adapting to the neurotoxin." The voice spoke, leaving Sam in disbelief. "Bullshit. That neurotoxin was made by Kiera, who gave it to me in case of emergency. That neurotoxin is, if I dare say so myself, the most potent neurotoxin in this world." "You're saying Rebecca is adapting to it?" Sam replied in denial. "You know I wouldn't have accessed our telepathic link if it wasn't true. I can send you my memories if you want." His voice suggested. "No need, I wouldn't like to experience more mental pain for today. I'll be heading over there, wait for me and don't do anything." Sam replied before cutting off the mental connection between him and his duplicate. "And you know what, after that we didn't even get to finish the dinner, lol. Anthony finished his funny story he was talking about, making Kiera burst into laughter again. Sam pretended to laugh too, even though he didn't even heard the most of it. "Hey, anyway guys, I'll be heading out now." Sam spoke before standing up. "Where you going?" Kiera asked. "To a friend's." Sam replied casually. "You have a friend in this city?" Kiera frowned. "Oh, what can I say, Kia, I've friends everywhere, 'cause after all, I'm popular," Sam said narcissistically before exiting the lounge. It was already suffocating enough to keep an act on, he didn't want it to stay a single second there anyway. "Her heartbeat is raising, at this rate she'll wake up, we should inject her with another dose," Rose suggested in panic. "Calm your tits down, love. He ordered me not to touch her until he gets here." "Well, speak of the devil." As soon as Sam's duplicate finished speaking, the bedroom door opened with a click sound. Click, about fucking time, Sam's duplicate said before turning into a violet light and disappearing. "Huh? Where did he go?" Rose asked, clearly startled. "His work was finished," Sam replied before he quickly got to Rebecca's side and checked her pulse. "Fuck, it was true." Sam clicked his tongue in frustration. Just when he thought he found something remotely close to a weakness. "Wait. I remember using the same neurotoxin on Starboy once. It didn't work on him, but it did on her. That led me to believe that Rebecca is not immune to poisons unlike her brother. But what if I was looking at the wrong side?" Sam placed his hand on the chin. "I see. You mean what if Anthony developed an immunity like what Rebecca is doing now?" "Yeah, like that. But it's impossible. Abilities can't just be developed, they are something we're graced with by birth." Sam tried to wreck his brain around all the possibilities, but nothing made sense. "Sam, think about it later, right now do something, she's waking up." The voice in his head alarmed Sam. "Rose, bring me a 20 milliliter syringe." 20, but isn't that the half of what you earlier assigned me to give her?" Rose frowned in confusion but still opened her side drawer and took out an half-filled 50 milliliter syringe. "It's a little less than half, this should be about 20. "Thank you," Sam replied before taking the syringe and opening Rebecca's left eye. "I asked 20 milliliters because we're going to torture. I mean, nicely ask her for some information. 20 milliliters would let her stay awake, but she'll be too weak to activate her powers." Rebecca's unconscious opened eye reflected a needle as it grew closer to her eye membrane. In a moment the needle pierced her eye and Sam's lips curled up into a eerie smile. Get up, Rebecca, it's time to play. Information available on Gravity Manipulation. Users can create, shape, move, control, interact and manipulate gravity, a natural phenomenon which all things with mass or energy, including planets, stars, galaxies, and light, attract, or gravitate toward one another. Gravity manipulation would allow one to increase or decrease gravity, be it the environment or individual objects. Gravity manipulation is one of the most versatile in combat utility, allowing one to achieve offensive and defensive capabilities. Chapter 16:16 Showdown. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. A piercing pain that spread throughout her body wrenched her out of her sleep-like state. She couldn't even muster a groan as her eyes pried open. It was only after she looked at the black-haired boy in front of her, standing there staring her with a smile that sent shivers down her spine, the memories of what happened earlier flashed in her mind. Her eyes widened. Where am I? What's going on? Was I in higher sleep? Thousands of questions crossed her mind as she tried to get up from the bed she was lying on. However, she couldn't. It was as if she couldn't command her muscles to move. What's happening? She yelled, or at least tried to, but her voice cracked. Shush, my dear, you are dosed with a neurotoxin that has destroyed most of your nervous tissues. Although you do possess a regeneration ability, so your body is regenerating itself, but I have no intention of letting the process complete. So I'm gonna ask you few questions and you'll answer me before the time runs out. Understood. Sam placed his index finger on Rebecca's lips much like she did earlier on the terrace. Fuck you. Rebecca barked. Sam, who saw this coming, only rolled his eyes before activating his ability. Ha! Your ability won't work on me, Rebecca scoffed. Yeah, I know, but I do not intend to make it work on you. Sam said as his lips curled up and he stretched his hand. His hand emitted a violet glow and Rebecca started to feel a sharp pain in her abdomen. Ag. She let out a groan. What is that? How can you overcome my body's defense? Defense? You mean your durability? Yeah, it's tough, so tough that it was almost frightening. We have to inject the needle through your eye to keep you in sleep. However, I came up with an idea. If I can't hurt you from the outside, I'll do it from the inside. Literally. Sam smirked as he kept his hand above her waist. What did you do to me? Terrified, she asked in a trembling voice. Oh, nothing, I just made you swallow some apple seeds. You see, I was craving some fresh apples and I thought, why not grow an apple plant, and what better fertilizer can there be than a Wilburn, right? Sam spoke with wide eyes and a deranged smile. Rebecca's breathing became ragged. The bed sheets made muffled noise as she tried to get her back up and look at her abdomen. Her belly bulged as if something was trying to crawl out of there. She widened her eyes in pain and terror, as if waiting for that instant. Sam removed her shirt. What she saw was a small protrusion growing slowly. She stared with horror as suddenly a thorn pierced through her rather durable skin and splashed a small quantity of blood around her. Ag-hi. Excruciating pain made her scream in agony, her voice resounded throughout the soundproof bedroom. Following this, a bloody twig exited through her body. She couldn't help but scream as tears flowed down on her face. She couldn't understand what was happening. Branches appeared one after another and leaves stained dark red of her own blood were fully seen. Just as she thought she was getting used to the pain, it reached the climax as a small trunk supporting red luxuriant foliage grew out of her open belly. A whole small tree grew out of her abdomen. Rebecca lied there with trembling lips and unfocused eyes. She wanted to scream but she couldn't, she had no lungs or anything at that in her abdomen. Seeing the pitiful state she was in, Sam couldn't help but exhibit a bright sadistic smile. Ah, if you show me any more of this I swear I'll fall for you, haha. He laughed in satisfaction. Now do you see my power, Rebecca? Do you get why I'm a god? Sam spoke narcissistically as he stretched his right hand again. His hand emitted a familiar violet glow and the tree that grew out of Rebecca started aging. The tree turned ash black in a couple of seconds and decimated into thin air. Rebecca was there, laying lifelessly, with her abdomen open in half, only connected with few threads of flesh. Sam checked her condition and couldn't help but exclaim in surprise, even after all this, even when you're torn in two halves like this, you're still alive. Damn girl. What are you made of? Inside Anthony's dormitory bedroom, what do you mean you lost her? A voice came from the other side of comm device Anthony was holding. Father, I'm sorry. It's my fault, I didn't think she would go as far as running away. Anthony spoke apologetically. Tony, you know that's not the problem is her impulses. God forbid if she have one of those right now while she's on the run and hurt a civilian, our names will be dragged into the mud. Yes, but father, she was in control nowadays, maybe she'll not. Before he could speak further, the man he called father yelled from the comm device. Tony. You know that it's a big risk, what if something upsets her? What if something hurts her? She'll break her limiters and you know as well I do that, she is not good with controlling full amount of powers like the rest of us. Anthony wanted to refute but he knew what his father was saying was not wrong. If anything were to happen to Rebecca, and if she breaks her limiters that would mean all hell will let loose. He stood there in silence for a second before he replied in a determined voice, I will find her, and before she could cause any trouble. Before he could finish, however, a loud explosion noise reached his ears. Tony. What is going on? Anthony quickly walked to the window and drew the shades. His eyes instantly went to the scenery outside, the destruction, a huge mushroom cloud of smoke coming out from the inner district area. Tony, what's going on? Anthony was shook out of his daze by his father's voice and replied hastily, Father. Yeah, the limiters we were talking about. I think it happened. He walked up to his cupboard and took out his Starboy costume. Permission to deploy, go. Ah, darling, I think you're offended. Was it something I said Sam with a playful smile and an arched eyebrow. I will kill you, Rebecca spoke in an emotionless voice. Master, heroes are being dispatched to come here. A team will be here in no more than just 5 minutes. Rose alerted Sam. Right now, everything around them was burning, the building they were in and the nearby ones too, everything was going down in rubble. The reason? Rebecca Wilburn. Sam thought there was still some time till he need to dose her with another syringe of toxin, however for some unknown bizarre reason, her body adapted quicker than he had expected. As he walked near her to inject her, Rebecca grabbed his hand and looked into his eyes. Her open belly regenerated and closed in an instant before she spoke in a monotonous tone, you monster. As soon as she said that, her body emitted a bright golden light and released a strong force. Everything around her started crumbling under that intense force. Sam tried to run but the strength Rebecca was holding his hand on to was too much for him to overcome even after activating his sub-power, argumentation. But before it was too late he cut his own hand and called out to Rose to his rescue. Rose quickly grabbed him and activated her ability, intangibility. Everything around Rebecca exploded at the force of 1 ton of TNT. It's okay, Rose, calm down. Sam spoke calmly. Calm down. Master. She's a Wilburn. Any statement she gives will be held against us. Should I go and stop the heroes from dispatching? I could say it's a false alarm and let the... Before Rose could speak further, her head fell off her body as if it was cut with a sword. With a thud sound her body fell on the ground with her eyes devoid of life. Rebecca arched her eyebrow in confusion before Sam spoke. I said calm down, damn it. Anyway, your work is done, I had more in plan for you but right now all I need from you is your ability. Sam finished speaking and hovered his hand on top of Rose's dead body. His hand released a dull violet glow and Rose's body emitted a light greenish hue. A small greenish orb came out of Rose's lifeless body and went inside Sam's chest. Now then, Rebecca, where were we? Sam titled his head with a strange smile on his face. As if waiting for that cue, Rebecca started rushing towards Sam. Sam, however, didn't back down either. He dashed towards her with his full speed too. Chapter 17:17. A small price to pay for revenge. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boom! Every punch that she threw sent a shockwave strong enough to destroy everything in its path. The road, the buildings, everything crumbled in front of her god-like strength. One could only imagine the end result if it were to hit someone directly. The speed and sheer force were powerful enough to bend even the space itself around her fists. Yet for some reason, no matter how fast or precise the punch she threw, Sam always managed to render it effectless by letting it pass through his body. It was as if he was made of air. That was the ability he just took from Rose, intangibility. A perfect defensive ability. No matter what the force of attack is aimed at him, it won't matter because nothing could harm him physically as long as he kept that ability active. Rebecca, seeing her efforts going down in vain, decided to change her attack strategy. If she can't hurt him physically, then she will hurt him, by burning up all the oxygen in the area. With that thought, Rebecca distanced herself from Sam by jumping back, and activated one of her many abilities, Explosion. Flames wrapped her body and she started glowing in bright golden light. Are you sure, love? I can sense that the explosion you're planning to create would be big enough to destroy at least a few kilometers from its epicenter. People will die. Sam smirked evilly. On the inside though, he was terrified. How can he not be? His biokinesis doesn't work on her and he doesn't have any other offensive ability in his arsenal that would let him hurt her directly. All he had right now was an idea, but for that idea to become reality, Rebecca has to let her guard down. Also there's the fact that heroes have been deployed and they will reach there any minute. Sam, however, wasn't too worried about that matter. Those poor humans aren't immune to his ability. All it would take is a snap from him to kill them all in an instant. The problem, however, was Starboy. He ought to have seen the explosions or sensed the shockwaves by now. He might even be on his way to the location even as Sam was fighting. Sam was running out of time. He needs to think of something and do it quick. Do you think I care? Rebecca replied with an emotionless tone. Sam couldn't help but widen his eyes and frown his eyebrows in utter confusion and shock. He knew Rebecca wasn't the righteousness one, but he never in his wildest dreams thought she, the daughter of Star Super himself, would go as far as to let thousands of innocent people die in her frenzy. As if waiting for that cue, the flames that wrapped Rebecca's body changed its shape and surrounded her, creating an orb. The orb then started to expand. Sam quickly activated his intangibility again as the flame orb surrounding Rebecca blasted and an explosion, destroying everything in the radius of 5 kilometers from its epicenter occurred. The light from the explosion subsided and the smoke cleared up, revealing everything that was destroyed by that massive ball of fire. Buildings were down in flames. People with high durability were left burning, screaming for help. Most of them vanished into ashes. Even most of the heroes who were coming to assist on the situation weren't spared. All but one boy. And you call me the monster, said Sam with a sigh. Anyway, that nearly wasn't enough to kill me. Are you underestimating me, love? You can breathe. Even though I burned all the oxygen in the surrounding. Why? Why? Why can't you just die? Rebecca screamed on top of her lungs in frustration as she started floating in the air and swiftly closed the distance between her and Sam in an instant. Whoosh, she started throwing random punches with her full strength. She didn't care about precision or technique now. All she wanted to do was to kill this black-haired boy in front of her. The boy who made her experience all kind of hell on just the first day of the academy. Sam kept his intangibility active and waited for Rebecca to let her guard down, even for just a second. After a few minutes of continuously throwing random punches and depleting most of her already little left strength, she let her guard down for a split second to catch her breath. However, a split second was all that Sam needed to carry out his plan. He kept his intangibility on and let his hand phase through her chest. As soon as his hand was inside her, he undid his ability and his hand reverted back to its original density while still being inside Rebecca. Gasp. A loud gasp escaped her mouth as she looked down. Sam's hand literally was planted inside her chest. Although she couldn't see it, but she could clearly feel that her heart was crushed. Do you know what I did there? I undid my intangibility while my hand was inside your heart, although my hand is crushed along with your heart, but it's a small price to pay for revenge. Sam winked before speaking again. Now sleep, little girl. He smirked arrogantly as if announcing his victory. Rebecca tried to move but she couldn't. She tried to fight but her body refused. Her consciousness left her body and everything faded into black. She went into hypersleep and her body began the regeneration process again. Sam, seeing this, activated his intangibility and took out his hand, or rather what was left of it. Instantly he regenerated it and thought of something. He grabbed her lifeless body by her waist and activated his stealth ability. Not waiting for another single second, Sam lifted Rebecca in a princess carry position and grew a pair of big bat-like wings from his back, flapping them to fly. He quickly escaped the scene. Not soon after he left, someone crashed down to the ground like a meteor. When the dust settled, it revealed a boy wearing white hero outfit and a golden cape. The boy also wore a golden mask and on his chest, a letter S was embroidered. Although he did wear a mask, his identity was all but anonymous. He was none other than the boy savior, Starboy. What in the, Anthony, or rather, Starboy, gasped in shock as he saw the destruction caused by his own sister. Damn it, Rebecca. I thought you left. He clicked his tongue in frustration and tried to come up with a good enough excuse to give his father. Next day, Anthony, did you heard what happened yesterday? Was it another villain or the same one? Did you fight him? Several questions bombarded Anthony as soon as he entered the classroom. The black marks under his eyes made it clear that he wasn't in any shape to come to class today, let alone be bothered by useless questions. Still, he took a deep breath and answered not so truthfully, yes, I heard what happened, yes, it was the same villain, and yes, I fought him, but he got away. Got away? Are you serious? So, even you couldn't defeat him? Was he that strong? Can we help? The group of students that surrounded Anthony made it clear that they didn't have any intention of letting him go with just few questions. Guys, calm down, look at him, he's tired. If you want to help him, then the least you can do is give him a rest with all these questions. Kiera stood up from her seat and spoke in his defense. "Aw, yeah, you're right, sorry Tony." The group apologized and left him to take their seats. "Thanks Kiera, you really saved me there," Anthony said with a sigh while taking his seat. "No problem. Honestly, you look like shit. I watched the news. Did the media interviewed you whole night? You didn't even return to the dormitory?" Kiera asked, clearly genuinely concerned from her voice. "Yeah. Honestly speaking, I'm so tired," Anthony said in a tired voice as he laid his head down on the desk. "It's okay, it'll all be okay," said Kiera, trying to cheer him up. Anthony could only hum at that assurance. How could anything be okay? He was tasked with protecting his sister. Not only he lost her, but now because of her, whole Wilburn family name is in danger. "Kiera, look what I found," Sam said enthusiastically while entering the classroom. "Hey man. Don't speak about us like you found a penny on the road." A vibrant red-haired boy following behind Sam spoke. "Haha, it's just been one day, but I missed you guys." The blonde-haired girl walking beside them giggled. "Drake. Robin. You guys are back," Kiera said while getting up from her seat. "I thought you guys weren't gonna come until after few days." "Yeah, sorry for disappearing without a notice guys, we know Drake, you guys had some noble family business. Sam placed his hand on Drake's shoulder. Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I'm so done with the noble duties. Sometimes I just want to fly in the sky like a bird, said Robin while flapping her hands. LOL, whatever that means. Kiera chuckled before speaking again. Oh, forgot to introduce you guys, meet our new friend, Anthony Wilburn. Ah, why is he sleeping? Sam frowned. Huh. Kiera looked down at Anthony, his head down on the desk. He was sleeping like it was years after he got some rest. I heard about yesterday's news, I think he's really tired, said Drake. It's hard being a superhero and a teenager, said Robin. Anyway, do you guys know what I found when I was in Hydrart Barony? I found a black-scaled crocodile. It goes without saying I fought and of course I won. Drake shrugged his shoulders arrogantly. Whoa, really? What rank was it, Drake? It was, I think. While the group talked about different things, Sam kept on glaring at Anthony. What are you Wilburns? What are you hiding? Sam laughed as Robin finished telling a funny incident, although he didn't heard what. I will kill you, I promise, and after that there will be no one in this world who can challenge my authority. ____ information available on intangibility. The user is able to move through solid objects and ignore most physical effects in their way. Exact means how this is done vary between slipping partially into other dimensions, being able to make their own particles move between other particles, being non-physical being of energy, vibrating their molecules into a new quantum frequency, etc. The user can also fuse objects into people, making it intangible/untouchable and unreachable. Stealth, the ability to be stealthier than what is naturally possible. Stealth presence removal, users can remove the presence of oneself or others from anything and anyone, making the target unnoticeable, imperceptible, causing people to forget them, and removing their connections/presence from objects or events relating to them. *= upgrade ____. Chapter 1818. A Hero's Pride. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Alright students, calm down. I said calm the fuck down, a female teacher, seemingly in her mid-30s, yelled as she entered the classroom. The murmuring and gossiping among the students quickly died down as everyone took their seats. The teacher's name was Iroha Eastfolk. She was one of the best well-known international-level superhero belonging to the warrior class. Her rank was SS, but the versatility she uses, her ability, teleportation, with could give even a SS+ rank a run for their life. Her temper is as bad as ever I see, one of the student muttered underneath his breath. The comment of course didn't escape Iroha's ears. She took a chalk and threw it up in the air. The students were all puzzled by her action. However, when the chalk began to fall down, the boy who spoke earlier was swapped with it and fell down on his ass instead of the chalk. Ag, a short groan escaped his mouth as soon as he landed back first on the ground. He groped his bottom and tears of pain filled his eyes to the brim as he looked up to see the face of the teacher responsible for his humiliation. Were you saying something about my temper, Mr. Ross? Iroha asked with an eerie smile on her face. Even in her 30s she was a beautiful woman to say the least. A blonde buxom mademoiselle with a triangular face and azure blue eyes. However, for the boy in front of her, who was currently grabbing his own ass to numb the pain, she was nothing short of a demon. No ma'am. He answered instantly. Then get back to your seat, you filthy maggot. Ma'am, yes ma'am. Oi Anthony, get up, mate, Sam said in a hushed voice. Upon seeing no response from the flaxen-haired boy, he shook him to wake him up. 5 more minutes, Anthony grabbed his hand and placed it under his head to use as a pillow. The FAQ, Sam snatched his hand back in disgust and slapped the back of his head. Anthony finally opened his drowsy eyes and looked around. Oh yeah class, it started. No, the teacher just came. What happened last night for you to get so wrecked? You look like shit. Yeah, Kiera said the same. Anthony replied with a mirthless smile. Sam clenched his wrists upon hearing that reply. If it were someone else, they would have died there at that moment. However, no matter how much he tries to alter or control his biology, Sam couldn't. It's like Anthony was just, not human or something. Talk, Sam, talk, take info out of him, you can try to burst his heart later. Sam cleared his thoughts and spoke again. It's because you really do. Anyway, what happened? Didn't you saw the news? Kiera whispered and joined in on the conversation. No, I didn't actually. I told you guys I was at my friend's. I didn't return until this morning to just change clothes and then I directly came here. Sam replied with a shrug. Ah, so you were gone the whole night. I didn't notice, sorry. Kiera said before nodding in understanding. Of course you didn't. Sam felt a clutching pain in his chest. He had felt this way sometimes before too, and he never liked that mysterious feeling. Last night. Anthony's explanation was cut short as Iroha yelled again. You boys in the back, I said, shut the fuck up. Anthony and Sam quickly zipped their mouths at that fierce roar. Ahem, now then, let's start with the announcement I was about to make. You all know what happened last night. Another terrorist attack. Our intelligence believe it was the same supervillain as the one who killed Tanya Fireforged. Last night we also found the dead body, or rather, the remains of the burnt dead body of Rose Bluespring at the crime scene. Heroes who were dispatched to capture the villain, unfortunately were also caught up in the explosion. Few of them did survive, but before they could reach at the scene of crime, Starboy had beaten them to there. However, we were still too late to capture the terrorist. The killer is in hiding in this very city that is said to be the heart of All Hero Alliance. 67 people lost their life to the explosion last night. Most of them were students, few of them were their guardians who came here to meet them. Although shameful to say, but it's a wound to our pride. Iroha took a dramatic pause to let all that sink in. Most of the students had a fearful look on their face. Why wouldn't they be scared? Academy City is said to be the heart of Hero Alliance. No villain in the past has ever tried to commit a crime there, even if they did, they were caught within a day or two. However, this new villain didn't leave any trail to follow. No one, not a single person witnessed the action. Not even the people who were present near the crime scene. It's as if their memories were wiped out because they didn't remember a single thing that happened during that time span. But such a large-scale crowd control ability is next to impossible for a person to have, especially when they possess a large-scale destructive ability too. So the possibility of the villain in question possessing a memory manipulation ability was discarded. When the CCTVs and satellites were checked for recordings in hopes of finding the culprit's identity, the officials were left in shock. The face that was revealed in camera and satellite footage was just a distasteful joke. The face that was revealed belonged to a person who was supposed to be long dead. Adolf Hitler. This villain definitely possessed a shape-shifting ability, that or it was really Adolf Hitler. Maybe he reincarnated, who knows? There was nothing, absolutely nothing the intelligence could track the crimes to. It's as if they were trying to track a ghost. It is a wound to our pride, sure, but a wounded lion is more dangerous than a hungry one. It runs after its prey not to satisfy its hunger but to gratify its anger. We'll catch this new villain not because it's our duty, we'll catch this villain to avenge those who have fallen, we will kill this monster in the name of revenge. So don't you children worry about it, because now it's the matter of a hero's pride. Iroha finished up her speech, her eyes burning with anger more clenched in determination. Yes. For the fallen. We believe in you all. I forgive you for slamming me on my ass. Cheers like that resounded throughout the class. Everyone was fired up, it was a replay of the welcoming ceremony. The spirit of these young and aspiring heroes were burning with a newfound passion and faith in their heroes. However, Sam couldn't look more bored about all this talk for the fallen and revenge and whatnot. He didn't care in the least. Why should he? The life of the woman who gave that nonsense speech is at his mercy. An elephant doesn't care about the dogs barking at him. It wouldn't even take a snap for Sam to kill everyone present in this class, everyone except one person. Sam glanced at him sideways before quickly turning his eyes away. Just you wait, Anthony Wilburn. I'll kill you and then she'll be mine. I'll kill you and then this world will be mine. Just look at all these heroes. They're sentries, aren't they? Drake commented while looking at the people in blue uniform patrolling the streets. Yeah, looks like they're taking this very seriously. Sam replied with a curious look. In reality he expected something like this to happen. I think we should do something to take our minds off, you know. It's just been one day and so much happened, besides we're gonna be living together for next 4 years, so let's enjoy our college lives. Kiera suggested as the group exited the gates of the academy. Good idea. Let's explore the nightclubs. Robin practically started bunny hopping at her own suggestion. Whoa, calm down there, darling, nightclubs are for night activities and there's still time for that. Drake held Robin by the shoulders to stop her from jumping again. How about cafes? I heard Academy City features the best cafe, they're so famous that people even go to the extent of counting it in the top 10 places to visit before you die or something like that. Sam suggested. Why isn't that kind of an exaggeration? Kiera frowned. We'll never know if we don't try it first. Sam shrugged casually. Okay, let's go to a cafe. Though which one? Drake asked while flicking his neck-long red hair. It seems like it's his habit to play with his hair. A bit weird habit for a guy to have, but who am I to judge? I hear a voice in my head, for God's sake. Sam mentally commented. The best one, duh. Let me look up the one with the highest ratings online. Kiera replied in a isn't that obvious tone before taking out her phone. After searching up for a few seconds she tapped the screen twice and her phone projected a holographic map in the air. There, that one have the highest rating. Kiera said while pointing at one of the marked location. Oh you nice. So let's go there, any problem guys? Drake asked while looking at everyone. Not me, Sam shook his head. Now let's go, I kinda wanna see what's so special about them, Kiera shook her head. Say me, let's go. Let's fly like a bird. Robin instantly replied, by the looks of it she didn't even seem to get what the plan was but agreed anyway. Ah, you poor thing. All that traveling took a toll on you, huh? Drake hugged Robin from the side. And you? Anthony. Huh? Anthony replied with a blank face. What do you mean, huh, dummy, you don't have any problem, right? Sam placed his arm around Anthony's shoulders. You mean? I can come with you guys. Anthony replied with the same blank face. The group instantly stopped walking and looked at Anthony with a dumbfounded expression. Is he dyslexic? Drake broke the awkward silence. Drake. Don't be disrespectful. Robin said in a hushed tone as she pinched his elbow. Is he slow on the uptake? She whispered before looking at Kiera. Shush, you two. And of course Tony, you're coming with us. Kiera replied in an obvious tone. I mean, hey, if you don't want to hang out with us cause we're not up to your standards then it's okay, though I would feel a little hurt since I thought we were friends. Sam dramatically clenched his chest and took a sorrowful sigh. No. It's the opposite, I was never invited to hang out so I was just surprised, that's all. Anthony hurriedly started shaking his hands in the air as he tried to explain his point. Hey, calm down mate, Sam grabbed his hands and said, do you have any problem with the plan? No, I guess. No. Anthony replied with a confused look. Great, then let's go, weirdo. Sam placed his hand back around his shoulders and began to walk. Yes, I forgot to ask, how many rooms do we have? Drake asked. 30, Kiera has already taken the best one though. Sam replied with a scornful look. Hey, come now Sam, you lost the toss. Kiera replied, holding back her giggle. Noel.n, you cheated. She cheated. The coin had heads on the both side. And poor Tony here didn't even get to participate in the toss. Not my fault you fell for the oldest trick in the book, mwahaha. You two are funny, lol. I'll take the manliest room available then. The group was too busy in theater talk to notice the warm innocent smile that Anthony had on his face right then. I guess this is what being with friends feel like. Somewhere in 82.8628 degrees south, 135.0000 degrees east, 12 people, 5 women 7 men, all hailed as the greatest heroes of this century, were sitting around a round table. Although they were supposed to be the symbol of power, strength, unity, and whatnot, the expressions on their faces was anything but strong. It's impossible, Star Super, nothing could have touched her. Even if she did die in the explosion, she should die from lack of oxygen, not from the burns. Also her head, she was beheaded. It's impossible. Eagle Claw slammed his hand on the table in frustration, tears about to roll down his eyes any second now. Eagle, I know it's hard to believe, but that's all we have. Even though he said that, Lightbringer himself didn't know what to make of this. For Rose Bluespring to die with a physical attack is simply absurd. There's a possibility that her corpse was tempered with afterwards her death, but it's impossible too, because according to the forensics report, she definitely died from decapitation. But how? Star Super, tell us what it is. A woman in red costume spoke and looked at Star Super for answer. Everyone followed her gaze and looked at Star Super to get some clarity on the situation. With a deep defeated sigh, Star Super leaned forward in his chair and spoke in a dead serious tone, it's the progenitor. He has returned. Chapter 1919. Do as I say and. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I told y'all it was just an exaggeration. Sam shook his head as the group walked out from a cafe into a crowded street. Kiera smacked him at that comment, it was your genius idea. Club was a better option, just sayin', said Robin while shrugging casually. It's okay, I mean now we know cafes here are nothing special. Drake arched his eyebrows in disappointment. I don't know guys, I think it was fun, Anthony commented. Ha. It was just normal, nothing special, Kiera frowned her eyebrows. Yeah, but, we did enjoy ourselves, right? I mean at least I did, it was the first time I enjoyed doing something so much. Anthony said with a genuinely warm smile. Why? Yeah, it was not that bad I guess. Dark scratched the back of his head. Robin lifted her index finger, maybe they meant cafes of Academy City are the best in the spirit, you know. LOL, okay, whatever that means, Kiera chuckled at the reply. Sam scoffed and spoke in a haughty tone, meh, it was average. If the only thing that makes it good was talking, then we can do that anywhere, why bother going to a cafe for that? That comment earned him another smack from Kiera, shut up moron, it was your idea to begin with. Ha ha ha. L.RG easy with his head, Kiera, it seemed to be empty from the start. PFFTT, the group of these newly found friends made their way to the dorm with random chit-chats along the way to entertain themselves. Their dorm was situated in the district called Dorm Area. The whole district is full of mansions dubbed as dorms for students of the academy to live in while they stay at this city. Every mansion looked the same from outside but differ from the inside. Some featured modern look while some even featured Victorian era look. Every mansion also featured a fingerprint security system. Meaning only those who can pass the gates were the one who have been allotted with that specific mansion. If someone else tries to use force to make their way in, then a powerful plasma shield will envelope the building and Hero Police will be alarmed. As Sam walked to the side of the mansion gate to place his finger on the fingerprint scanner, he stopped as if he had remembered something. Oh, forgot to ask, what about your stuff, guys? He looked at the couple and asked with his head slightly tilted. Drake looked at her girlfriend with a blank face. Fuck, Robin cussed as she placed a palm on her face. So you forgot. Dummies. Kiera shook her head. Okay, so do you want us to help you shift from hotel to here? 'Cause it'll take too long for you two alone. Sam asked. That would be really helpful actually, would it be too much trouble? Drake asked embarrassingly. No, not at all. I think it wouldn't take long for us to shift if we work together. Sam said as he began to move. Wait, you both don't need to come, Kiera and Sam, I alone would be enough. Anthony spoke, puffing his chest out proudly. What I mean, I'm not doubting you, but there's a lot, and when I say lot I mean a lot of stuff to move, said Robin hesitatingly. Anthony just laughed hummingly in reply, HM do you forgot who am I, Robin? Yeah, but, before Kiera could speak anything else Anthony started floating in the air, don't worry, I'll be back with your stuff in an instant. Swoosh. Anthony boasted before flying away towards the hotel district at an incredible speed, almost breaking the sound barrier in the process. Oh well, if he's that fast maybe he'll actually be back in an instant. Sam commented, genuinely impressed by the speed Anthony can fly with. Yeah, but that idiot forgot to take the keys, said Drake with an exhausted look. Ha ha ha, maybe we should go after him, Robin said and began to float herself. Wait, no darling, you know I can't fly. Drake was cut short as Robin flew away too with a quick speed, although quick but not as fast as Anthony. Fucking hell. Oh well guys, meet you both in a few, said Drake with a defeated sigh before running in the direction Robin flew. Ha ha ha, they both are a piece indeed. Kiera chuckled. Sam only gave a plain hum in reply and placed his finger on the scanner. With a low metallic cling the gate opened soon after. What? What's going on, Sam? Kiera asked as she followed Sam inside. As the both of them went in, within a second the gate automatically locked itself from the inside as it was programmed. No, nothing. Sam tried to shrug it off. Hey, Kiera grabbed his hand and made him turn around to face her, what's going on? Sam looked at her deep purple eyes for a good minute, while pondering over whether to go ahead and tell her or not. Don't do it. Sam, don't. Fucking. Do it. After a whole minute, Kiera decided to break the awkward silence and asked him again, Sam. What's going on? Tell me, what's going on? You know you can tell me everything right? We're family aren't we, so tell me. Sam closed his eyes and took a deep sigh before opening them again. He gently placed his hand on the side of her face and lovingly creased her sliver hair. What if I tell you? He tried to speak but his own subconscious held him back. Sam, you'll only hurt yourself. You know her answer, don't do it. What if I tell you that? His breathing became ragged as he took a deep breath to calm himself down and steeled his resolve to tell her the truth. What if I tell you that I'm the progenitor? The progenitor. That's stupid. One of the superhero wearing what looked like a lab coat bursted out in disbelief. However, one glance from Star Super was enough to calm him down. I apologize. I didn't mean it to you, I meant you claiming his return, that's impossible. Professor, I know it's hard to believe but it's true. You know my eyes can see abilities as colors, right? With them I can tell when someone is going to use their ability with just a glance. Star Super pointed his index finger at his own crystal-like golden eyes. They were very similar to what Anthony had, however his were clearer. Almost like real crystal jewels. Everyone's ability have a unique color to it. It's natural law and common knowledge that two people can't have the exact same ability, so by addition, two abilities can't have the same color to it. Star Super took a deep breath as if he remembered something unpleasant. I've seen Progenitor use his ability, Biokinesis, in person. His ability radiates the darkest possible shade violet color hue, and I found the same violet hue lingering around Rose's dead body when I saw her. Everyone was stupefied at the revelation. Most of them were shocked, few of them even showed the signs of fear. Everyone knew how cruel and powerful the progenitor was, enough to give him the title of Demon King. One could only imagine what would he do if he really has returned. But you killed him right. At the Battle of Melbourne City, currently known as the Academy City, 300 years ago, a woman in red costume spoke up. Yes, yes, he did, Scarlet Vampire. Lightbringer, the principal of the Hero Academy, answered, however it's the progenitor we're talking about. Although you're immortal and living for almost a century now, you're still far too young. You haven't witnessed his might, what he can do. It is indeed possible that he faked his death, or even worse, passed down his powers to someone else. What? Is that even possible? Abilities can't be passed down or inherited genetically. Your claim defies the common logic, it defies everything we know about abilities. This time it was a young girl in a flashy red and gold costume who bursted out. Calm down now, Liberty, most of the original 12s were wiped out by that guy. He must be powerful. A well-groomed man in a completely white Italian suit sitting beside her tried to calm her down. Liberty squinted her eyes and frowned her eyebrows. Power has nothing to do with it, Deadeye. It's a natural rule that abilities can't be passed down no matter what, and no matter what. Jesus, what are you yelling at me for? Are you still upset that I slept with your mom? I told you both look the same. I got confused, damn it. And I told you that's some bullshit. This is not the first time you did something like this. That's in the past. This is about now. I'm completely innocent this time. You have to believe. Shut up, you two. Lightbringer yelled at the pair, although he usually loved to see the two of them fight. However, this was not the time for rom-com nonsense. Sorry, Lightbringer, the duo apologized with their gaze down. So I'll ask on behalf of everyone present here, are you absolutely certain that it's the progenitor we're dealing with? Because you were the one who killed him more than 3 centuries ago, are you not? A pale-skinned young man wearing a long-sleeve orange T-shirt with a graphic Phoenix logo on it spoke in curiosity. Yes, Phoenix, I'm certain that I killed him that night. However, as the Lightbringer here said, it's completely possible that he could have passed his power down to someone else. Star Super dropped the bomb with that statement. However, before anyone else could say something, he opened his mouth again. I know, common sense and all, yeah. I know abilities can't be passed down, but don't forget, many of you sitting in this conference got their abilities from me, said Star Super as he leaned back on his chair to sit more comfortably. As if he was sitting on a throne, he spoke again. Everything looks impossible until someone go ahead and do it. Yes, it's impossible as we know it for someone to pass down their ability, however the emphasis here is on as we know it. There's many things we don't know about, the full extent of progenitor's power being one of that. Now I don't want your whining, I want results. Do as I say and we'll prevent the destruction that was caused 300 years ago from happening again. Do as I say and we'll kill the Demon King. Sir, yes sir, everyone sitting at the round table conference replied in unison. Everyone present there knew the cost of failure, but everyone believed in the leadership of the man they known as Star Super. Yes, they were scared and worried, but every one of them knew that the progenitor, original or his kin, is not a match for Star Super. Good, let's do this. Just one more time, one last time. Chapter 2020. Destined to be alone. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. 5-year-old Sam sat at his desk, flipping through a biology book. His face was slim, cheeks sunken and had sickly pale skin. Wearing a worn-out white shirt and blue lower, he was studying to complete today's quota. His dark black hair shimmered a deep blue under the light of his study lamp. Lost in his book, he heard a faint sound of footsteps approaching that shook him out of his world. The sound only grew louder and louder by evening passing second. Sam, however, was still not done with his daily quota. His hands started shaking with fear. He tried to calm himself down but his body refused to listen. The sound of footsteps stopped right behind the closed room door. Bam! With a loud thump the door was slammed open, revealing the man standing on the other side. Are you done with today's study? The man asked. Although his demeanor was calm but his body oozed off a sense of superiority. The man was tall, wearing a proper black coat suit, around 5'11"-ish. He had the same black hair as Sam but his were more richer. He had a well-toned perfectly built body. Sam tremblingly turned around from his desk and answered, Not yet be. But I'm almost done fath. Slap. Before young Sam could even finish what he was saying, the man in front of him slapped him right across the face. The force of that slap was enough to make Sam fall from his chair to down on his knees. He supported the fall from his hands and tried to speak again. Father please least, before he could finish or even get straight back up from his bent position, a kick connected to him at the side of his abdomen that sent him rolling a few foot back. Gah! He tried to gasp for air but he could physically feel the air going just towards his right lung. His left one was smashed by the force of that kick. Needless to say he also broke some ribs. Sam violently coughed as he felt something coming up his throat. He didn't even try to get back up because he knew what the end result would be. The man he called his father walked up to him calmly as if it was a daily routine for him to beat his kid like that. He grabbed him by the hair and lifted him up. Fatha, peas, he tried to beg but his voice came out in whisper. Resisting was out of question when he couldn't even feel his left upper side. An open hand slammed the side of his face this time, causing an ear-splitting pain. Blood gushed out of his ear as if a tap was turned open. His eardrum was destroyed by the impact. Within a few seconds the pain went numb and now he couldn't feel anything on his whole left side, face or upper half alike. Heal. His father muttered a single word and his deep red eyes radiated a dim violet glow. Sam's body began to regenerate itself, his ribs started going back to its place, his eardrum was restored and his lung was repaired. The sign of what just happened totally vanished from his body in a matter of seconds. Instead of feeling fear or terror which he usually feels, Sam felt surprise. Usually his father would beat him to death, literally, and then revive him to do the whole process over and over again until he satisfies his sense of parenting. The man kneeled down and gently placed his hand on Sam's shoulder before speaking. You know that I don't have much time left, right? You have to get ready, Samuel, we're the last of a dying breed. Our progenitors will must live on within us. But you know I can't do that anymore, right? Star Super has already sensed something is wrong with Newark, he'll come here anytime. I need to pass on this power to you before he comes here, I need you to be prepared, Sam. He placed his other hand below Sam's chin and lifted his head. Sam, who had his gaze down all this time, finally looked in his father's eyes. Tell me you won't be like your mother. Tell me you won't leave me. Tell me you understand and tell me you'll be prepared and, unlike me, you'll fulfill our progenitor's dying wish. His father said, traces of pain and regret lingering in his eyes. I won't. I won't leave you. I will never leave you, father. And yes, I do understand, I'll prepare myself and I will fulfill our progenitor's wish. Sam replied in a strong, determined tone. His father hugged Sam instantly after hearing that reply. It's been a long time since Sam felt his father's warmth. Tears filled his small eyes to the brim, he wanted to cry, he wanted to let it all out, but he didn't. He just hugged his father back, he wanted to enjoy this loving embrace as long as he could, for God knows when he will get to feel his father's love again. However, the love and warmth he felt for his father was soon replaced by terror upon hearing what he said next. Why did you meet up with your mother today then? Huh? Sam was confused, how did he get to know that? But above all he was scared of what was coming next. Wasn't it to discuss your situation? Did she promise you that she will save you from this hell? The hug that was supposed to be warm was turning tighter and harder to breathe in for Sam. Father please. I didn't accept her offer, I swear. Sam tried to lie, however even he knew this wouldn't work. His father doesn't even need to use his mind reading to tell that he was lying. What did she tell you? That she will rescue you. Do you know the reason why she lost your custody to begin with? The loving embrace that Sam was in earlier was now just a death trap. He could feel his ribs were at the end of their limit, his ribcage won't hold on and soon he'll literally be crushed. He tried to breathe, but the amount of air he was able to inhale was getting smaller and smaller every time the bear hug was tightening. Faith. Beg yo. Yo, his face was turning red, he tried to use his hands to get away but to no avail. The reason she lost your custody was because I mind-controlled the authorities. And now that she's trying to take you away from me, I'll mind-control her, or better yet, I'll mind-control her husband. I would make him not want to adopt you. Only then you'll see, she won't take you in, she won't help you out. She will definitely choose her current life over you. She will not leave her husband or her new child, no. She will leave you. There is no one who'll ever love you. We Gracefells are born with a heart of a demon and it's our destiny to die alone. All the words after that were a total blank for him. His ears shut themselves off. His eyes were starting to lose focus, his vision was turning black. Only on his last breath he saw the sadistic smile his father had on his face as he looked at his own son die. He heard a laughing voice somewhere deep back in the background. Initially he thought it was his father, however his lips weren't moving. No, it wasn't him. Then who? But before he could figure that out, darkness took over his vision. One by one he lost all of his senses and his consciousness faded into the darkness akin of a deep abyss. Sam died. What if I tell you I'm the progenitor? Ha! What are you saying, dummy? That's not something to joke about. Kiera slapped his hand away from the side of her face. Yeah, forget I said anything. Sam said with a dry laugh. Okay, sure, weirdo. Kiera replied while rolling her eyes and turning away to walk to her room. Not before she even took a few steps, Sam spoke again, you're thinking what is it's true, right? Kiera stopped dead in her track, without turning around to face Sam, she replied with a fake laugh, What are you doing now? Mind reading. You and I both know you don't possess that ability. Now you're thinking, how did I know that? You're panicking. Well, honestly, I can't blame you, Kia. Even muttering the word progenitor is banned in this world, yet here I am, claiming myself to be him. Sam walked up to Kiera. AMD stood right behind her. Sam, enough with the jokes. Yes, you're right, I'm panicking. Not because you're madly claiming to be the progenitor, but because I'm worried about you. I know the last 2 days have been stressful, but take care of your health, will ya? Kiera said while turning around to face Sam. Would you look at that, she is not lying. She genuinely is worried about you. Although, will she still be when you'll confirm your claim? You're so kind, Kia, this is the reason I fell for you. In my world there's only endless terrifying darkness, but you shined your light on me, you became my son. Sam said with a warm smile as he remembered the times when Kiera saved him from his own self. Sam, please don't go there, I know you've always liked me, okay? But I can't return your feelings. You're like a family to me, you're my friend, my best friend, and that's all. Don't make this complicated. Kiera tried to stop Sam of whatever he was going to say next, although Sam didn't stop. However, that light is not enough now, Sam, stop. This warmth is not enough anymore. Sam, please stop, please don't say anything else. If you do, we won't be able to return back to normal. Kiera widened her eyes, she went ahead to place her palm on his mouth, but Sam grabbed her hand and kept on speaking. Tell me, Kiera, even if you can't reciprocate my feelings for you, I need to know, will you still consider me your family even after knowing the truth about me? If your answer will be yes, then I'll wait for you to fall for me, even if that takes an eternity. However, if your answer will be a no, then what's the point, right? Sam said the last part with a bittersweet smile. Wah! What are you even talking about, Sam? Is this a trending way to propose a girl? Honestly, I think you're way too tired, cause that proposal didn't even sounded like a proposal. Kiera said in a genuinely concerned tone. She was about to speak more, but before she could, Sam's eyes glowed with a bright violet hue. You will forget the conversation we just had, you'll go back to your room and resume your normal activities. However, once everyone goes to sleep, you'll meet me at this location. Sam ordered while handing her a slip of paper. Without asking any questions as he had ordered her earlier, she took the slip, turned around and walked back to her room quietly like nothing happened. Sam, why? You know her answer, she is far too weak to know the truth. You'll only hurt yourself by doing this. I need to know. I need to know whether what he said was true. Can really no one love a demon? Are we destined to be alone?